Hi, my name is Alexis. I'm a relationship counselor, and in this video we're going to talk about the psychology of breakup and how our mindset can affect the post-breakup recovery. In other words, the blind spots or the way we react after a breakup can be dramatic if you want to get back with your ex. So in this video, I'm going to detail those blind spots and you'll be more equipped if you want to get back with your ex. Jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So it's something you need to understand is that the worst mistakes are made after the breakup. The reason we make those mistakes and they prevent us from getting back with the ex is that we react emotionally. We have this chimp brain. We all have a chimp brain, but this one, this time it takes over because of the strong emotions. Okay, so don't feel that by being too emotional, by crying, by being clingy or feeling that you need to contact your ex, for example, you're weak. It's just a question of you have emotions and you're a human being. So welcome to the club, my friend. It would be actually quite strange, and I wouldn't hope that you would be in that case where you don't feel anything. Feeling that breakup is difficult means that this relationship meant something. Now, the question is, what can you do with that? What can you do with that? And using, as I discussed, you have the chimp brain, but you also have the analytical brain, the human parts of our brain. This is the one I want you to use because it's the one that makes the right decision. It's also, in this video, I want to give you some tools in order for you to take distance. The reason it's also very hard, it's very difficult to deal with a breakup is because of how attached we are with the situation, how focused and sometimes obsessed by our ex, by the breakup. Taking that distance, learning how to take that distance is one of the most essential things you need to know if you want to heal from the breakup and also to get back with an ex, because it's the same process. Your ex will never get back with a chimp. He or she will get back with the human version of yourself, if there's something like that. Fear of loss, the first one, we fear, so it's a cognitive bias where we fear more what we're about to lose than what we're about to win. It's actually twice more. There's been studies, usually in psychology of money, behavioral psychology, when they assessed whether people were more inclined to save something they're about to lose than potentially earning. And I think it was with a factor of 2. And this is why we can be clingy, because we are trying to rescue something that we're about to lose. The same way, as I said, you will fight to run after someone who just stole something from you, but you won't have the same energy to run after something to gain. And this drive to be clingy is linked to the notion of unfairness. The same way someone steals something from you, when you feel that the situation is unfair, you would react, you would fight. And it's coming, if you read the book Chimp Paradox, which I highly recommend, he explains that actually chimpanzee would really react violently when they feel that the situation is unfair. There's actually a video online where you can see this experiment when one monkey is given cucumber while the other is giving grapes for the same exercise. The one who's given cucumber really fights back. That's what happens when we are losing something. We feel that, it's so unfair. They took the decision. We didn't discuss about that. It comes as a shock. It comes as a surprise. How could he do that to me? That's unfair. I react. I protest. I become more clingy and needy. That's the fear of loss in play. Second one is the cognitive dissonance, which is very common, is when you have two beliefs confronting each other. You have two stories in your head that are confronting each other. I love my ex, but I hate him for what he did, or I hate her for what she did to me. I stay in touch because I like the connection, but at the same time, what I get from staying in touch doesn't make me feel better, because they don't want to stay friends. I don't want to stay friends. The problem with the dissonance is that prolongs the healing process, because emotionally exhausting, to have this battle. Like, we're in touch, I want to be with you, but you don't want to be with me. I love you, I hate you, I'm thinking about you, but you can't be with me. All these kind of things, all these kind of thoughts are exhausting. And it makes it harder for you to move forward. Because what's going on is usually the cognitive dissonance is about stories that are not on the same timeline. The timeline of we were together with the timeline that you're not together anymore. So right now it's really about accepting the fact that you are single right now. Could be temporary, could be for a long time, but that's a phase. Accept this and use that acceptance to move forward, to look into the future rather than in the past. Attachment theory, you're familiar with this if you watch my videos. If you're anxious, sometimes it comes as like a fulfilling prophecy. There's a fear of abandonment, I'm not good enough, people don't like me for who I am, and you end up in that side of the breakup where your ex is breaking up with you. The thing is, when you're not familiar with attachment theory, you will reinforce those insecurities. When you're anxious, you will protest, you will be clingy, you will be needy. When you avoid, if you're dismissive avoidant or fearful avoidant, you will get a lot of distance, creating like, oh yeah, didn't work, I don't want to make any effort, that person wasn't for me in the end, so I'm not going to work on myself, right? Especially at the beginning. After a while, avoidant, if they have had feelings with their ex, they start to reflect, they start to think like, haha, perhaps there's something wrong. So understand that if you're anxious, those protest behaviors, as we call them in attachment theory, will push your ex further away, and whether they are secure or avoidant. If you're dating someone secure and you are protesting too much, you will push them away. Typical protest behaviors, so you have an idea. Obsessive thinking, so it could also be internal. So obsessive thinking about your ex. Constant communication, the need to really be on their back. Perhaps it's something you had when you were together and you want to continue this. The jealousy is a typical one, especially after a breakup. Being overly apologetic. I think if you made mistakes, if you disrespected your partner, it's okay to apologize, but just do it once. Because then what it means is that you don't respect yourself anymore as well. And you continue and you're sort of reinforcing this idea that you need the other, right? And you being the chaser, you don't want to be in that situation if you want to be with your partner. You want to be at the same level. And of course, the last but not least, idealizing the relationship. Very often, we tend to idealize the relationship when we're anxious, and we tend to idealize even more after the breakup. Because as we discussed, the fear of loss makes us put more value in things that we lose. Learning is the first step, and congratulations, if you're watching this video, it means that you are amongst people who want to learn, who want to become a better version of yourself. The challenge or the problem is that 90% of what we do and what we think is unconscious. And the first step to learn more about those coping mechanisms, those insecurities, those trauma potentially, or micro trauma, is to bring awareness of those functions, of those mechanisms. Trust me, the answers to your challenges, the answers for you to get back with your ex, is within this 90%, is unconscious. There are things, working models within yourself that made you behave in a certain way, that made you accept certain things, that are making you feel a certain way right now. Right now, you have to accept the situation. What you can learn to do, what you can master, is understanding those 90% of what's going on in your head. That's what we do in therapy. That's what you can learn if you speak with a coach or counselor like Elizabeth or myself, is to really unpack those things. It's really about, and that's why I make YouTube videos, because I know you gain so much by learning and by understanding how we function. For years, I didn't realize that most of what we do was unconscious. I thought that that's the way it is. And sometimes our own beliefs are so well anchored that it's hard for them to change the way we think. One way to change the way we think is to learn and understand how we function. Right? If you want to repair a car, whatever, you need to understand how a car works, right? Sounds obvious, but it's very important because some people would, feel like I'm not interested in learning. You're interested in learning how you can become a better version of yourself, and well done to you. So assess whether you can take those actions and talk to someone if you feel a bit confused, if you need tools. I've also doing a lot of workshops at the moment with Elizabeth or myself. Have a look in the description. You have few links, few resources that you can access for you to, accelerate this learning journey. Any other question, anything you want to ask me, don't hesitate to use the comment section and I will get back to you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
For a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.